Hello everybody, welcome to BLU-ERNIE'S Blu-ray classic DVDs, where I'll be reviewing classic movies on DVD, from TV or a download, or on Blu-ray, whichever format I've got on me at the time. So I've just done one on The Legend of Billie Jean starring Helen Slater. I'm now going to be reviewing a classic 1969 John Schlesinger movie, Midnight Cowboy. An absolutely 5-star general, brilliant film. It stars Jon Voight and Dustin Hoffman, and it's set in New York, in Hell's Kitchen, around about the autumn time when it starts going into winter. Everybody, if you've seen it, knows what it's about. I bought this for £6 in CEX in Ashton. Quite good. It's got a 5.1 surround soundtrack, DTS master audio, and it's also 1080p high clarity film. It's one of John Schlesinger's best known films. It was Oscar nominated. It won an Academy Award for the Best Picture at the Oscars in 1969. There's the inside, and that's what the basic DVD looks like, and that's the price I paid for it on there, that side there. It's a bargain, that price. I've had it on DVD lots of times, but this is the one that I wanted. Now, the music is by John Barry, another British composer who did all the James Bond themes and everything. He does the most of the music. The main song in the film is called Everybody's Talking, which was written by Harry Nilsson, and it went top 10 all over the world. It's a very poignant song. The lyrics in it are just fantastic. You've got to listen to them with headphones on. The music, it's melancholy, and it makes your heart melt. It's just that sort of film and that sort of music in it. It makes you think about being on a road trip. The whole premise is basically Jon Voight works in Texas, in the middle of, I think it's in Phoenix, and he's basically a dishwasher in this cafe, and he doesn't like his job and he wants to get out of it. And he's a good looking bloke for his age, when he was in early 20s. So because he thinks he's good looking, he thinks that all the women in New York would like a cowboy. So he becomes this gigolo, male prostitute, whichever you want to call it. He becomes this man where he thinks if he goes to New York he's going to make a fortune, and he decides to quit his job. This is all in the very first 5 minutes. He decides to quit his job, jump on a Greyhound bus and head to New York. That's the premise. If you've never seen it, it's a classic. It's an absolute brilliant film. It's not cheerful, it's not a happy film. It's very downbeat, and it's one of them that takes more than one viewing. You watch it a few times and you just get the gist of it. It just makes you think, wow, I'm glad my life isn't like that. And when in the film Jon Voight heads to New York and he meets up with Dustin Hoffman's character Ratso Rizzo. Now Ratso Rizzo is basically, in not being derogatory, but he's a scumbag. He's a low-life hustler, a scumbag. He's basically out for everything himself. He will rob you if he can, he'll take from you, he'll scrounge from you, he'll do anything to survive. So basically he's homeless, he's on the streets, everything. He says he knows everybody, and he sees Jon Voight dressed as a cowboy in this cafe having something to eat, and he sort of takes advantage of him, not sexually, just takes advantage of because he sees him open his wallet and he's got some money in it. So basically that's the whole premise. They end up sharing a rundown apartment. They basically become squatters in this building, but Ratso Rizzo has got a heart and he has got a story, and his story is all he ever wants to do is go to live in Florida. And in a way, like I said, he's a scumbag in low life, because he thinks in Florida all the pensioners are retired and they're rich, so he can basically get a job in one of the retirement communities to fleece all the old people. That's his dream. John Voight's dream is basically to become this big gigolo and this big superstar, and it's basically a journey of these two, how they get on, how they live, and how they survive, or do they survive, and can they survive in New York. It goes from autumn to winter, and the winters in New York are very, very cold, and you see it all, and John Schlesinger has nailed it to a T. The guy's died now, but he's one of the best British directors we've had in a long, long time. And it was the first X certificate. An X certificate to the modern people is an 18. It was the first X certificate in the UK and the world to win the Best Picture Oscar at the Oscars. And it's deservedly an Oscar winner because it is one of the best films ever. And I guarantee the song, when it's playing at the beginning and when it's playing near the end, will haunt you for a long time, and it'll make you think. The song was actually remade in the 90s by a British group called The Beautiful South, who did an okay version. It was good, but it wasn't this. And there's also a piece of music in the middle called Florida Fantasy. Now, if you're a child of the late 60s, early 70s, that piece of music was featured on lots of telly shows and everything, and you'll remember it straight away when it comes on. So I would give Midnight Cowboy 5 stars, 10 out of 10 for everything. It's a fantastic Blu-ray. The extras on it, I've got an audio commentary by the producer. It's got After Midnight reflecting on the classic, a documentary 35 years later, all the controversy it caused with its subject matter, and also a documentary celebrating the British director John Schlesinger. So I recommend, if you ever catch it on TV or on a download, or if you see it in a market stall anywhere, pick it up. It's well worth a watch. 10 out of 10. Thank you.